What is up, guys? Welcome to the Fosterman's stream. Let's get into this. This is going to be London live public. It is live on the YouTube channel, so let's get into this. So pretty much if you're new around here, or if you are watching later, or whatever it is, first off, we're going to do the potential plays, bias filter, and then obviously we can get into some trades, right? Usually these will last for around 1 hour, 60 minutes. So we'll get into it. But yeah, other than that, gold all-time highs, beautiful stuff. Pretty much every single pullback is getting a nice little reaction, right? You can see around here, just a bunch of buyers stepping in, getting absorbed, a bunch of sellers stepping in, getting absorbed, get a nice move higher, right? A bunch of buyers stepping in, getting absorbed, a bunch of sellers stepping in, getting absorbed, and then the move higher, right? So sort of like clockwork here, right? So what I will do is start over on the 5, pretty much just looking around here. Let me get this bias done, right? So we are in London. And yeah, so pretty much the way that's going to work is every single Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, we're going to be going live on YouTube. But yeah, later on, obviously, outside of my time zone, we do have FOMC, right? So we will see about that. Let's get all these marked. I do know we definitely did not hit that close below the current session. And value of the previous session, previous day we're above. RTH we're definitely above, and previous session, let me see. I'm going to assume we're above, but let me just quickly check. Yeah, we're above. We are above and beyond. Look at this. Oh my gosh, it just never ends. So yeah, look at that. Value area highs at the highs is like, key indicator, by the way. I did get a question on that. So yeah, whenever you get like the value area at the high, that means like buyers are still willing to buy higher prices. So until that changes, then obviously, don't be looking for too many feeds, right? So we'll get a couple of these 15s and 5s. I don't know if there's going to be any 15s, but we'll see really quick. And then obviously we can move our way over to the 5. Got clapped a few times on silver. Yeah, it's like it is a pretty tough one to start getting these trades in, right? I haven't actually checked out silver. So what is silver doing? Is it hitting all-time highs as well? Is it like going up? What is going on with silver? But yeah, it's like it's a bit it is a bit tough, right? Because the way the market's moving, I'll show you in a second what I mean. But yeah, the way it's moving is kind of weird, especially around these all-time highs. 52255. Wow, yeah, that's going to be a clear level. These are already still marked on the 15. That's a clear 15. 52525. Some of these numbers, man. Just that goes to show just how influential these sort of price points are at. Right? Any sort of psychological 52743. Not my favorite. 52743. Let's get this marked as a 5. Right, so this is pretty much just my pre-market. For anyone that's kind of new around here, this is what I do pre-market. Pre-trading, should I say. I don't really like that either. It's not great, right? 5234. I do like the number though, so I'm going to put this in. Alright, so that's pretty much it for those sort of levels, right? So that's all we really have. So let me go in here really quick. Oh god, yikes. Let me see where I'm at. Copy these over to the 1. Right, and let's get this marked. Just easy as pie to spot these sort of ones. Oof. Mark that. Just get this marked up proper, but yeah, kind of looking at that as more of a psychological, instead of just like that out of 1, right? Also 5275 on the button. That sort of area is actually pretty influential for sure. Look at this. So we'll see what we can kind of get around here. CBD is just very nice. It is very nice. So yeah, that's pretty much the buys and the potential plays done. That's what I love about it. If you get them pre-done in Asia, there's not much you actually need to do, which is really nice. So same thing applies, as I said before, in Asia. Same thing applies. Is it a shooting day today? To be honest, I'm kind of chilling before FOMC. Yeah, you know, so it is. It's going to be. I don't think I'll be trading FOMC just because of the time for me. But if I could take any quick scalps, yeah, I'll be taking them. Lagging behind, yeah, that's annoying. And I wanted a reaction off the 4R 50. Yeah. Elon, hey. What is going on? What is the crack, everyone? So let's get into this. Let's hopefully see about some trades here, right? So yeah, I'm gonna do a nice little thing for the 100th episode, right? Because I was thinking like, okay, what sort of way should I do things? And for the 100th episode on the Course Pro, I'll do like a trading sort of breakdown, right, of what sort of trades I'm looking at, why I'm looking at it, how I'm looking at it, what does it mean when I'm looking at it, all sorts, right? Every single sort of question I get, why, how, when, where, who, whatever the question is, I will answer it, right? So like right around here, right? What would I be looking for right around here? So even though like you could look at things, let's say for example I take away all the order flow sort of side of things, what would actually I be looking at right here? Well, you can see already this sort of candle is a very absorption looking candle, right? But I want to add order flow to this, right? So I'm trying to look at this with the order flow lens. What am I looking for? Well, first off, I'd be looking for some form of absorption of everything. I'd be looking for absorption, right? So right now, this is actually the volume profile with the delta in light, right? So if I just zoom in really quick, you see all these numbers. This is all the delta, right? But it's actually the volume profile. So it just gives me that extra bit of like, okay, I can spot the delta, I can spot the volume. What way is volume coming in, right? You see here, just even you could just visualize it just by looking at CVD alone. You can see it's kind of flat, and it's just showing us that there's not too much volume, right? Even if you just zoom in on some of these candles, like look at all these zeros. This is insane, right? So you know, pretty much what I'm looking for right now, what I would be looking for to take this long, it's just like even just the seller get disrespected, right? So something like this where the seller comes in, I pretty much want a seller to come in here, get disrespected, us come back in and get that nice little fade from there. Or I'd be looking for buyers to step in and the exact same thing, right? So it's vice versa. Either way, I'm happy enough. But that's only after we hit a key level, right? So yeah, that's pretty much what I'm looking for. This platform name, this is ATAS, ATAS, ATAS. You can find the link in the bio, in the description. Any idea when the full ATAS X will be ready? I'm not 100% sure. It would be pretty cool if it was ready within the next, at least by the end of Q1. I would think that would be the best way. Because that's what I'm looking forward to, right? Right now I'm on Mac. I've got a virtual machine sort of Windows thing going on here. But yeah, what I'd be looking for is ATAS X to be fully released, right? Because that would help me out a ton instead of on this platform. There's a couple things that I would need on here, right? You got the follow trader, which is just copy trader, and you could do something else, but then you're paying like $50. Cross trading, another thing. That would be pretty nice. And a couple other things, right? Like buy stop orders, sell stop orders, customizable size within that. In a certain way, right? Auto risk calculator sort of vibe. That would be really handy. So let's say, for example, I, enter a position, no matter where I kind of put my stop, right? So it would ask me for my stop, whatever it is, right? So, so the stop would always be like $200, let's say, or $300. That'd be pretty sick. So we're actually breaking this sort of area, right? So where would be the next sort of area I'm looking for? Right down here. If not, this POC. So we wait. We see. Realistically, want to see some big buyers, but there's literally nothing happening. The data looks like messed up, which isn't fun. Which ain't fun at all. Which VM do you use? Parallels. I use parallels. My Mac, I got a 18 gig RAM. I think like maybe a 12 core CPU or something. So it definitely handles it, right? I did tweak around with the settings. So if you join the Discord, let's say for example you have something similar. If you join the Discord, just shoot me a message inside there. I can help you with the settings if you want. But yeah, Motive Wave is not it. I completely agree with you. Where do you see the imbalances on the new template? So instead of what I did was I kind of just stripped away everything, right? And I said to myself, what can I actually trade with? What can I not trade with? And balance was one of them, right? They are handy, but just by trading with them, trading without them, I haven't really found a difference in them, right? So it is, because realistically, I put a lot of more weight on what's going on with price and what's actually happening, right? It is nice for the imbalances for TPs and stuff, but I haven't really found it like, too difficult, that's for sure. And literally just basing it off like the sort of structure sort of side of things, right? So like literally right around here, we could have seen like a bunch of buying balances, right? And then you get some false positives. So yes, there could have been buying balances right around here, and you get a false positive, and you think, oh, well, we're getting buying balances. Let's see that sort of rewarded, right? Whereas you just use something like like the big trades, looking at the delta, right? Looking at the volume profile. This like right around here, you can see this like sort of high volume node right around here. If I zoom in right here, what are you going to see, right? You see some buyers stepping in, you see some sellers stepping in, right? If we ended up messing this up, right? So we come back up into here. That's exactly pretty much what's going on. What I want to see is us to break this, come back down, potentially retest this area. Realistically, though, I would like to see some big trades, big buyers stepping in here, breaking this sort of area, right? We already know buyers are interested in buying around here, but look what happened, right? We ended up getting this move down, which means some passive sellers were a little bit more eager, right? So it's just looking at things like that, and I could tell that just off price, right? You can just see that what is actually happening just off price. So yeah, it's just removing a bunch of fluff. I just find it a little bit more useful, right? A little bit less time consuming for sure. A little bit quicker to get into trades and a little bit quicker to get out of them. Big buyers, see? So what I want to see right now, right, is these buyers get rewarded. I want to see these buyers get rewarded. Us to come back down and test these buyers pretty fast, right? If we come all the way up to here and then come back down and test these buyers, it's not, it's not great. There's that little bit of resistance, right? Where was that little bit of resistance? Right around here. So this is what I'm kind of looking at, right? But yeah, I want to see us close above these buyers. Why? Because it's going to show us that those buyers are strong enough to keep on pushing price up. CVD obviously falling off a cliff, not great. So it's all about contextual sort of way, right? It is, by the way, it's London session, so it is a little bit weird. It's definitely not going to be the cleanest, but I feel like that's definitely a good learning experience, right? Kind of looking at London and being like, right, okay. Like I said, there's certain criteria. Okay, I see the buyers. That doesn't. I'm just answering, right? Same would apply. Let's say, for example, you're just using balances instead of like these sort of big trades, right? You'll get more opportunities to buy and more opportunities to sell, and get out of positions. So there's a lot more. But if you're just looking like, you still get a good amount of opportunity here, but the false positives will be less, right? So it'll be a little less false positives. That sort of way, anyway. So let me get this a little bit refined here, right? Yeah, like I said, remember I said if we just break up here and get this sort of wick, it's not my favorite. Again, it's not my favorite. Right? You have this sort of area right around here. Nothing really going on around here. CVD likes, falling off a cliff, right? You just kind of look at what has been happening. And I'm going to show you this really quick. Like, look at price just, you know, continuing to rise. This is the first time CBDs are realistically super flat. This is pretty flat CBD, right? So when I see things like that, I'm like, okay, well, what way would I look at this? Well, you know, you could be a lot more aggressive whenever pretty much everything's in your favor. If CBD's in your favor, if buyers are stepping in, if we're getting pullbacks and they're getting rewarded, right? You're seeing all these sort of things. It's just like, okay, I'd be silly not to hop on this sort of opportunity. But when you start to see some of your confluences sort of step away, right? You're starting to see CBDs turn flat. You're seeing things that you don't really want to see with these buyers, right? You know, it's them sort of things that's a little bit, you know, we are getting a little bit of absorption right now. We are getting a little bit of absorption right now. You know, look at CBD, right? So prices do going up, CBD going down. So that's what I'm kind of thinking. That's what I'm kind of thinking. But yeah, I don't want to be super duper aggressive on these. Like I said before, it's just when these sort of things aren't really aligning, it's not great. When I see sort of buyers get respected, right? This is what I'm looking for: is buyers getting respected. Not only are we not seeing a lot of buyers, we're actually not seeing a lot of respect. We did come down into this POC, tap that, got a nice little wick up, but then look at this open. You know, first tap of that sort of POC. Let me see just really quick. This POC's been around for a while. You know, so it's kind of just like, okay, what do we do now? So we remove this, give this sort of area. Let's see what's going to happen around here. Let's see if we can get something. But yeah, in these sort of conditions, it's like, okay, let me take the most favorable. Like I say, that quick push up, quick push down. Where's your entry? Let's say it's around here. You know, so it's realistically just seeing the sort of respect happening. If you're wanting to continue on, just, you know, longing all-time highs, what would I be looking for if I'm looking for shorts, right? Shorting all-time highs, crazy. But let's say, for example, we're looking for some shorts, what I would be looking for. Let's get this little move down, right? Let's say even, for example, we see a bunch of buyers stepping in here, them not getting rewarded. Sellers stepping in, them getting rewarded. Okay, so that's what I want to see. And then a nice little move back up, feed it right back down. It's literally simple like that. Clockwork. Of course, what do we have to do first? Though we have to hit a key level. That's my main thing, right? No point in trading this just randomly, right? I want to see a key level or something get hit. And this sort of key, you know, we had this POC just from this range. Nothing really happened from there. You see, sort of like a little bounce and stuff like that. Could we get a reaction up here? Yes. Could we get a reaction down here? Yes. So I want to see something that's going to be like, okay, you'd be silly not to enter this position. That is what I'm looking for. That is what I would be looking for. So let's see if we can get something of anything. But yeah, so the lives will be every single Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Monday, Asia, Wednesday, London, Friday, New York. So that's the way we're going to work it. I think that'd be pretty sick. Right? Then obviously, if you're in the group, it's like 3 times a day, 5 days a week. Yeah, this is weird, right? Getting caught in this sort of action. This is why you have to, you know, you take a step back, look at it, and say, okay, what is actually going on here? How can I get into a position? Where am I looking to get into a position? You know? It's so weird, right? These volume profiles are just so weird right now. We just have that POC, right? So what would I want to see right now? I want to see some sellers stepping in and getting rewarded, then going along with those sellers, right? That's what I want to see. What else would I want to see, right? So what are the sort of options I'm looking at? Seller stepping in, getting rewarded. Buyer stepping in. Nice. And those buyers, little big buyers sort of stepping in, right? Me coming back down, fading down. Yeah, that's what I'd be looking for. That is what I'd be looking for. So let's see if we get some. In the ideal day, mate, during all-time highs is tricky AF. Yeah, it is, right? It is super tricky to treat these sort of all-time highs. You know, especially the mental sort of thing, because you know you're always in the back of your mind. You're like, is this actually going to be the short that takes it all the way down? Is this, am I wronging or am I longing in the wrong position? You know, but buyers just are pounding this, right? We're still just pumping up. You know, every sort of pullback you get, obviously if it like makes sense, every single pullback you get, you see those big buyers getting respected. It's just like, you just keep on longing that, longing that, longing that. You could have been doing it all day. Look at this, all day. You could have been just every time we had some sort of something. Yes, you might have got chopped up a couple times, but then you just keep on doing it, right? There was a short within Asia. There was like a quick short within Asia, and it was pretty decent. So like right now, right, big buyers stepped in. Look where we opened. You know what I mean? What would you be looking for right around here? Again, bringing past these buyers, tapping in, and getting that nice little reversal from there. So it's all about positioning and waiting and chilling and whatever. But yeah, it's such a weird day to trade these all-time highs, that's for sure. Especially in London, all-time highs, London. Come on now, ask him for trouble. Ask him for trouble. But we'll see. We'll see what we can get, if anything. Let me see. Trump mocking culture. Keep waiting for the pullback, peasants. I will keep taking it up by declaring tariffs. Yeah, exactly. So if we, that's what I'm saying. If you have that in your mind, right? You have that sort of framework in your mind. You can say, okay, gold is continuing to go up. Let's wait. We come back into like a sort of a range area. Let me get back in long, right? You just continue to long until it just doesn't work anymore, right? Until your longs are no longer working, and then you just keep on. And you start looking for something else. You're looking for them shorts. Yeah, it's definitely a tricky time to be a gold trader, right? Hopefully we can get something. At this point, even if a noob belongs gold opens his trading terminal today, he declared himself a pro. Yeah, literally. You can close your eyes, throw a dart at the board, and literally wherever it lands, you can long, and you'd be making money. That's so true. So I'd say there's going to be a couple people coming out of the woodworks right now. You guys know me. I'm a bear. I'm not too fan of longing, to be honest. So this is like I'm like one of those guys that I've just noticed I could easily short something. Like it's not even a bother for me. But longing, on the other hand, that's that pessimism. I'm a little bit of a pessimist. God, get Trump. I know, right? Just hope he goes away. So many demand zones. Yeah, I know, right? It's like, you know, this is the thing, right? As soon as we flush, every single demand, like, you know, once one starts getting broke, right? You think about how many people are going to be long in these sort of demand zones, along here, you know. So we got one. This one was decent, right? But it's just like the reaction was just horrible. Got a little bit of absorption there. Get nothing like I'm like, okay, I'm dying to hop into this. This is like, you know, around here, demand zone, around here. This huge one, this is a 15 as well, yeah. Decent one around here. This is a 5 Deepak. Surprised Deepak hasn't shifted. You know, that's another thing, right? The Deepak not shifting. Look at the way volume is just coming in, right? It's just so scattered. It's like there's high volume nodes everywhere. You can be taking them trades everywhere. There's a 333 candle. The only hope you have is Paul maintaining rates or being hawkish instead of conceding to Trump's demands. You know what? That's actually true. It's actually true. True that. True that. Let's see if we can get something. These areas are just so weird though, right? Like even when we came back down to here, you know, the best place along was this R range POC, right? And then just no sort of entry where you're entering from. Just the top of that range POC. Might as well just have candlestick charts on at that point. Pre-FOMC though is like pretty annoying. So you got a couple factors here. All-time highs. FOMC. London. But yeah, I was thinking of doing the New York session a little bit earlier tonight. Maybe around 7. 6:30 my time. Maybe like 1 hour earlier. Half an hour earlier, maybe. I haven't decided yet. Silver longs. Send it please and thank you. Fingers crossed. Let me see. I'd be kind of looking to get long around here if we get the reaction. Like I say, it is just kind of weird the way the CVD is moving around. Yeah, just not really liking CVD right now. Again, that's weird. Oh, is anyone else's charts looking like this? This is like insane. The way these charts are looking right now. The volume profile on that chart. Let me know. CBD, I can wreck you guys anytime for shorts. I know, right? It's just like, what is going on here? I suppose if it, this sort of market, the sort of way this is moving right now, it's supposed to go for anything. Look at this. Come on. What is going on? This is bananas. Let's see something. Gold at 5.3K is just insane. That is mental. I have to go start selling the valuables. Let me delete this. First demand zone. Breakout 3, right? That's the way it goes. That's the way it goes. I don't even like that price. Same throughout. That's like pretty insane. Let's see. Trumpamentals. Trump. That's actually funny. Where are you getting all these terms from? Forex. You're gonna work till we get FOMC today. I know, right? It's just any sort of anything. Just like the wazoo. It's just a lot of waiting until we get something, right? That'd be the best way. Get something. So what are we supposed to do, right? You just keep on pulling these sort of ranges, see if we get the respect. If none, it means 0 trades zilch. But if we get something, right? So obviously, like looking at this first one, what are we looking at? Seeing all these absorbed these absorbed sellers by passive buyer, right? Seeing that right at this low, wait on a pullback, you come right back into here, and then nothing, right? This slow sort of leaf. All right, so what are we doing? Waiting until we at least come back down to here. This sort of area, right? This sort of demand area, supply area. All these sort of areas, right? Until you can get something that sort of makes sense to get into. But if not, I don't want none of it. What are you supposed to do? You're just going to keep on entering trades and then just get chopped up. You know, there's that retest of this sort of range POC, right? Let's see what happens. But yeah. At this point, let's make a fund connected with Solar X with Trump's client, or any news that comes out related to Trump. Long or short that, and you're going to make 500% returns, maybe even more. You know what? I think there is people doing that. Some of the funds that people create are actually hilarious. I seen one the other day. What was it? That inverse Creamer fund, right? Jim Creamer. So it's like that is actually hilarious. Imagine there actually being a fund where it is more profitable to not be on your side. Like, that's hilarious. There's a couple of other funny ones. I seen another funny one. I can't remember what it was now. But yeah. Some of the things people come up with is just insane. Look at this gone. Even though it is sort of a reaction from it, but it's just, what are you supposed to do? Look at this sort of action though, it's so weird. We tapped into this area. Let's see if we get something. If anything, in this next 15-minute open, right? So we got 15 seconds. I'm wrecked. I need to get a couple more coffees. There we go. Let's see something. Like, this is why you gotta wait, guys. That's why you gotta wait. What are you supposed to do here? Next area. Pretty short, you know. Where are you spotting the short though? Depending on the reaction we get from this sort of area, again, you know, we come here. I'm kind of looking for this reversal up to here. That range POC. We're at the daily value area high, range POC, 5-minute range POC. Like I said before, CBD's sort of falling off a cliff, and which is not my favorite. If we just look at what has been happening, this is like the biggest short of the day for sure. And that's our psychological 53 area, right? Yeah, 53 psych. You know, what did we get? 6 points above it. Yeah, literally 6 on the dot. So, you know, it's just like, I wouldn't be surprised if a bunch of buyers just getting squeezed. So we could end up just smashing through here. But CBD sort of flatlining was sort of what I was looking at for sure. I kind of shorted up from there, the risk trade. Yeah, you know, it was kind of hard. I didn't really see anything there. Anything that was like screaming, right? I suppose you did have the CBD sort of side of things. other than that, nothing was really meeting what I wanted. The first time the Orderflow Pro short fired in like how long? I fired a couple times down here, but yeah, first time in a while, right? Usually it was just buys. Another buy right around here. Silver, yeah, sure, that's going to be fun. You know, it's just like these sort of markets are tough. I would say Monday is going to be interesting. Monday will be interesting for sure. See, I got the WAP updated anyway, so now all these streams will be like categorized. So live stream Asia, London, New York, so on. So you'll be able like to just hop in and be like, okay, what was I trying to see in like Asia and all that sort of stuff. And it's a good reference as well. A couple ideas for like sort of bots and stuff coming out. It's scary to short from all-time high. Yeah, it is. Right, it definitely is. You know, in these sort of scenarios, what I'd be looking for, I think I said this in Asia, but I'll say it again. What I'd be looking for is those sort of round psychological numbers, 5,300, 5,200, 50, 250, 5,350, so on. And like the creme de la creme, the best of the best sort of setup. And other than that, it's just not even worth it, right? It's just like, for what it's worth, Whereas longs are just a lot more favorable right now, for sure. Just in general, right? But you gotta see the best setups, and that's the thing, right? Even when we are getting sort of long sort of scenarios, it's just let me put this here though. I'll remove that. So, something around here, right? Like looking for this sort of long. This was from around here, right? It's just like, right, okay, you enter once, you get stopped, right? You're entering in here. Okay, let me enter on these big buyers, right? Stop loss below those big buyers, stopped, right? So it's just like, when you're seeing this sort of market structure, and then again, CVD sort of flatlining, it just was not great. I didn't really like, the whole thought of longing around here. And I was like, okay, if we break out either way, try to get something. Broke out, we got those longs. I think it was right around here, so I could actually delete this as well. Same sort of scenario, right? We had longs here close below those longs. Textbook, this is like, absorption to the max. Again, hovering around here, tapped into these. It took like literally 2 or 3 minutes to tap into these buyers, right? And then we got this reaction, got the nice little absorption here, nothing from that. So yeah, if you're like just blindly sort of like longing these sort of setups, you could get eat up all day. So it's just like, right, it's being careful like where you're longing and stuff. We didn't even tap into this sort of level. It kind of sucks as well. The usual playbook: long on Monday, close on Friday. I seen a couple of cool like hedging sort of strategies, one of them being like on poly market and stuff like that, but you could also use like a bunch of other sort of yeah, there's a bunch of other daily options and stuff. Yeah, the markets right now aren't working on logic, they're working on Trump. That is true. That is true. That is very, very true. Okay, I'm just not really liking this, right? No level tap for one, which is step one of my sort of playbook. Just none of that. Bulls buyer stepping in, sellers absorbed. We go to top this level, it's easy long, easy long, easy long. Just step one, wait for level tap. You can get that. So no trade. I see selling pressure from CBD. Alright, mate, see you in the evening for New York session. I guess I'm calling today before FOMC. Yeah, you're better off chilling out, taking it easy. Until the sort of FOMC stuff. Maybe on Thursday, Friday-ish. It'll be a little bit better for sure. Inside the Asia Live waffle, you have labeled it 2025. Oh my gosh. That was a rookie mistake. I will fix that. I can't believe that. Still living in 2025. I see selling pressure from CBD. Let me check. Let me write that down about the 2025 thing though, because I will forget. Selling pressure from CBD. Yeah. There's a lot of selling pressure from CBD, but we're just not really getting anything. Like, what's going on? Yeah, we're just not really getting anything that is like, okay, I'm really interested in longing this or really interested in shorting. That's the only thing, right? It's a little bit annoying. Yeah, just wait for the demand zones to be tapped, or if Trumponomics win, you're going to get some more new highs. Yeah, I would say so. Literally just wait until we get some form of reaction off something. Right, that's why I've been kind of waiting on. We did have two, one around here, one around here. This one, nice little reaction, just really nothing. No really nice entry criteria right around here. We have another one, just didn't tap it, right? So it's just like, it is annoying. It is annoying, that's for sure. Yeah, the best thing is more than likely you want to be waiting until New York after FOMC Thursday, Friday. Oh, tired anyway, so probably gonna skedaddle off here anyway and get some things fixed up. Thank you, ClickCheck, for the spot on that the WAP folder. So I will definitely go fix that up. Got a couple other things. I think I'm gonna make this like a sort of I'm just going to have like the archive folder, right? So it's going to have all the previous like sort of bias builders and potential plays and stuff like that inside of that archive folder. And then the rest will just be, I'll have the lives from now on, Asia, London, New York, all set up. And they will also be marked correctly from now on. That was that's silly. But yeah, thank you for telling me though. I have a friend working on GPMC. I'm sure they have had a bad month. I am 100% sure of that. It has not been, it's definitely not a bear market, that's for sure, when it comes to gold. Pretty much anything. Check this. There is, these sort of times, right? It's like, okay, what's not hitting the moon, and then let's see about that. Yeah, putting a bit of money into ETFs. I like doing that. Yeah, we're not really getting anything. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to call this one an end. I'm going to end this one here. And hopefully something happens around New York time. If not, then we'll cut that short as well. I'm going to go live a little bit earlier. And then we'll go from there. But yeah, I'm going to head off, get a few things sorted out. And then, sure, if you guys take any trades, let me know inside of the Discord. I want to see them. I want to see what sort of way you're getting in, why you're getting in. Because it's interesting, right? Even though if I'm not trading it, I still like to look at these sort of things. It would be kind of cool to see. So yeah, definitely send some of your trades in. And yeah, we'll go from there. See you soon in how many hours. I would say I'm either going to go around in the next 3 hours, or in the next 2 hours and a half, or in the next 3 hours and a half. So it'll either be one of those. I'll notify in the Discord anyway, but 5, 10, 20 minutes before anyway. So I'll let you all know. But yeah, so I'll let you know. In the Discord now, mate. Thanks, by the way. Yeah, no problem. Thank you. Now, mate, I'm not trading. Yeah, it's understandable. This is not great. I'm not giving it back away to the markets today. Yeah, it's understandable. That's 100% understandable. That's what I'm saying. I'm just kind of sitting in my hands waiting. Unless I see like the best sort of setup, I'm not really interested. When I use open high low indicator daily high low markers, it shows the VP on the right side charts, not in front of the one profile border. Daily high, so that's low markers. Shows the VP on the right side. The charts not in front of the VP border. I'm not sure why. If you want, I quickly just skim over these settings really quick. Before I skedaddle off, I can show you my settings. So if I go to recourses, I'll just open up, like, for example, the daily high. I can show you mine. We'll just go daily high. So that's what I'm kind of dealing with. Obviously, I got certain ones turned on. The high, the previous day, and stuff like that. But yeah, that is my settings. So you can pause the video, screenshot it, whatever is suited. But yeah, not sure why. But anyway, I will let you guys go. Hope you had a decent trading session. I don't know if you have though, because this has been pretty hard to trade. But I'll see you all in the next one. Peace out.